Alrighty, we are live again. Hello, hello. Is the sound going there? I don't see the audio levels. Just want to make sure the sound's good. We are live again. All right, that's good. Yeah, I don't know why the audio is not level's not going there. So the part one is already on my channel there. The connection got cut off there. Sorry about that. Apple computers, like I said, no control over it. It's happened in the past. Thankfully, it hasn't happened for several live streams now, but all right, Terry, you're back. Great to see you again. Fantastic. Yes, we were talking about the elephant in the room, which was the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And oh, hello, mate, Mo85. Good to have you on this Sunday evening. Although it's probably not too late where you are. Fantastic. What we're thinking about enlisting, right? We got to serve the country if the cause is right. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we want to make love, not war there, right? But we were in the middle of talking about the economic ramifications, the implications economically when it comes to the stock market, oil, gas, and people's reactions. Right? We were talking about how it's not just what directly happens directly, from the invasion, but rather the emotion. And if people have a bearish sentiment of the stock market, that could dip the market in and of itself. So it's not just the direct ramifications, but the indirect ramifications and reverberations as well. So let's go back to that. We were talking about in regards to the markets, right? When it comes to stocks and finances and what it means for your wallet, what this invasion could mean. If you are first joining us, though, welcome back. We had part one cut off there. Now this is part two. So if you are watching right now, make sure you give this live stream a tremendous thumbs up, smash the like button. If this stream does get to 500 likes, we'll actually be doing a cash giveaway where we give away $100 to a few of your lucky subscribers. And we'll also be doing another cash giveaway when we hit 20,000 subscribers. So two cash giveaways to look forward to potentially. So let's get back to where we were. And if it does happen to get cut off again, you could make sure that you have notifications turned on because we'll go live right then and there subsequently. So where were we? Well, we were talking about how the conflict between Russia and Ukraine is likely to push crude oil prices above $100 a barrel sooner than earlier projected. So this will only exacerbate the problem. Like we were talking about, this is the last thing Americans want after record high, insane, exorbitant inflation and prices that we have not seen in decades. And I'm sure the American people simply do not want this to happen. Spike in energy prices, of course, could hurt consumers and also prompt the Federal Reserve and other central banks to move more quickly when it comes to raising interest rates to try and tamp down the inflation. Fed was already going to, raise interest rates anyways, at least once or twice this year, if not multiple times. And so this invasion would only expedite that process. And this would probably be bad news for stocks as well, not just domestically, but probably also globally at the same time. Again, once, and we saw this during COVID, which, a lot of people had, not just a lot of people, but the vast majority of the American population had a very bearish sentiment of the market during COVID, at least the early days. And that just drove the market down further. And, a lot of people were crushed and sold their stocks thinking that the country and the world would never, ever recover. And this is it. It's the end of the world. But then the market actually recovered in less than 60 days. So just always have that mindset that you're playing the long-term game. And America has been through recessions, depressions, corrections, multiple wars. We've seen it all, pandemics, multiple times. America's been through it all. Just hold and believe in American excellence. Biden is no president, according to Terry. Well, according to the facts, he is the president, but that's another story. So believe in yourself, Mikey X. Oh, I remember him. I think he was part of the cash giveaway that we did at 10,000 subscribers. I believe you were one of the winners, actually, Mikey. Good to see you. Good to have you on here. Glad to know that you're, still with the community, the Cone Clan, if we want to call it that. Hello, Elaine, coming to us from San Diego. Hello, Michael. He's back from Illinois. Terry has heard that gas will come to. That's true. That's true, main man. He's new to the page. I assume he's a man if his username is main man. $100 to. Sure, sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll give away that money. Wayne, we're talking about Ukraine here, not about stimulus. We could certainly talk about more topics than stimulus on this channel. But if you are first joining us, Main Man said he wins, so I always did, but no one ever won. Well, if there's a winner, I don't see how no one could win. You think Russia's only acting tough since Biden's in office? Well, that's certainly an interesting question, right? What would be the effects if Trump was reelected? I don't think, honestly, that we would have seen too much of a difference. I think Putin, probably would have the same reactions and same sentiment and consensus, whether or not Biden or Trump is the president. I think we wouldn't have seen too much of a drastic difference. Other pages he used to follow. Okay, I understand that. Okay, I think I see where you're coming from there. No, 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 no worries. Proof is in the pudding. Just ask Mikey, who was one of the winners of the cash giveaways at 10,000 subscribers, and he'll tell you, that we gave away that money. He was live on camera. Proof is in the pudding. But that's another story. We're not talking about that here on this live stream. But good to have you on. So back to what we were talking about in regards to the economic ramifications. Economics analysts wrote in a report Monday that a quote Russia invasion of Ukraine or severe ratcheting up of sanctions could add as much as 2 percentage points to inflation in developed markets, quote, particularly in Europe. And then they also in that report said, quote, given the inflationary backdrop and hawkish signals from central banks, including the United States of America, of course, monetary policy could be tightened more aggressively as a result. This is not surprising, especially as the Fed was planning to raise interest rates regardless of whether this invasion was going to happen. And the market may ignore some scary headlines, but not when oil's involved. So that's one of the main reasons the market probably won't shrug off a conflict in Ukraine, even though it quickly dismissed many other skirmishes and terrorist attacks during the past century. According to research done on the 24 military and terrorist events since World War II, so we're going way back when, it was found that the S&P 500 typically fell only about 1% on initial news of a military event or terror attack, and just 5.5% over the length of a particular event. And it only took, on average, 52 days for stocks to recover their losses. That includes the pandemic. Pandemic, I think, was around 56, 58 days, something like that. You want to quote me on that? And according to this report, the equity markets are more at risk from the fallout from the war on inflation than on a potential invasion of Ukraine. Quite interesting. History reminds investors that surprise military and terrorist activities have traditionally been short-lived and represented an attractive buying opportunity. Certainly, I'm buying up right now. Every time the market keeps dipping, it's not like I'm chasing it upwards. I'm actually doing the reverse. I'm chasing it downwards. I think I hit the bottom and then I buy more and it keeps going down. You've seen these crazy swings recently with the market. Hopefully, the market has bottomed out now, but we'll see what happens come Tuesday, as Monday the market's closed for President's Day. Many of these events did not have a broader economic spillover, such as the assassination of President Kennedy, the massacre of Israeli athletes at the Munich Olympics in 1972, the Madrid bombing of 2004, London terrorist attack in 2005, and the Boston Marathon bombing in 2013. All events we could look to as far as what the markets did, and we could certainly compare. But another major military conflict on the list did impact the oil market. That was the 1990 war following the invasion of Kuwait by Saddam Hussein's Iraq, and that led to a much greater market shock. The S&P 500 plunged nearly 17% during the start of the Persian Gulf War, and it took more than half a year, 189 days, for the market to recoup its losses. Very interesting there. It seems likely that a drawn-out conflict in Ukraine would be more problematic to the global markets and economy, much more like the Kuwait invasion than one-off terrorist events. This would be an ongoing conflict. It's certainly not just going to last 24, 48 hours. Others worry about the fact that Russia is not just a significant player in the energy market. And given that Russia is a major oil and grain supplier and is a key producer of palladium used in catalytic converters, fears of price rises are very real. And again, this is on top of the inflation, further exacerbating the situation. Of course, the last thing that consumers or investors need is for more inflation pressure to push the costs of goods even higher. Got some comments here. Interesting, interesting. Terry's asking about crypto. Crypto on this live stream. We can certainly say that from the video. I've certainly talked about my thoughts on crypto in the past. Most recently, I believe, like a couple of years ago or so. I'll just openly say that I do have a little bit. It's certainly not the majority of my portfolio. As you folks would know, the vast majority of my portfolio is in real estate, then stocks, then I guess you could say cash, then crypto. Maybe a little bit more crypto actually now that all my money is going to real estate. So, but I could certainly talk about my investing strategy for 2022, which is on my list. I was going to talk about that in a separate video. Maybe that'll be the next one. And for sure, for sure. Interesting. Got some more comments going down. I say, I believe you're talking about the stock market. Well, it is going down right now. We are in, we were in correction territory. Whether we're going to stay in that level, we've recovered a little bit. It will be really interesting to see what the markets do on Tuesday. That will be quite indicative. I think people are going to start buying up. Now is a great buying opportunity. And we always talk about in the past. We've talked about a dollar cost averaging when it comes to investing, especially long term. uh, you know, whether the market's up or down, you still want to invest. So good strategy. And this wasn't really meant to be an investing live stream, but it is good strategy for you newbie investors. Let's say you want to invest $100 every single month. Do it when the market is up or down. Does not matter. Average in your position using dollar cost averaging, and that's just a great investing strategy to average in the market. So that way you're not taking a major position. Whether the market is completely up or completely down during bearish or bullish times, dollar cost average and spread out. Invest in increments and in frequent increments. So that's where the markets stand right now and where they could be heading. Uh, just know that you don't want to just read a headline and make a decision off of that. So don't let emotions play into investing, right? Stick to your guns, stick to your strategy. Don't just look at the next new shiny object. This goes for anything when it comes to reading headlines and seeing the latest and greatest. Do your due diligence and make sure that you are just sticking to your strategy, right? You don't want to let one event happen and screw over your entire investing strategy. Again, America has been through it all. We've seen it all. We will recover from anything and everything. Look how we have recovered rather swiftly from the largest pandemic in world history, really, at least in modern times. And we were able to recover from that within less than 2 months. If you look at what the stock market did, S&P 500, the Dow, the markets entirely. Certainly, other countries are having, more difficult times. But as far as the American market, we were able to bounce back rather quickly. And that is where we stand. So we'll have to see what goes on. Supposedly, there will be a meeting between Biden and Putin, and we'll see what comes of that. But right now, the world is on edge, and we'll be watching every single move and waiting for the other shoe to drop. Terry, thank you so much. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You can all hit that like button. Absolutely. We'll get this to 500 likes. We'll give away iBooks to a few of you lucky subscribers on top of the cash giveaway that we do when we hit 20,000 subscribers. So let's wait and see what happens. We'll have more news and developments to come. Perhaps we'll do something in the meantime. And as far as the next video, we're not gonna, just cover this entirely. So and then we'll revisit it in a future video, maybe in the second or third video from today. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this live stream. Thank you so much for joining us on this Sunday evening. Now it's almost feeding into, actually it is 12:01 now if you're on the East Coast, so it's actually Monday now. Thank you so much again. If you enjoyed this, smash that like button. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Click that big red button and have notifications turned on. And if you want to get some free stocks, all free, use the links down below in the description of this video. Sign up with the brokerage platforms, Robinhood and or Webull. They'll get some free stocks, some valued up to thousands of dollars in some cases. And if you want to connect me on social media, use the link down below in the description. Connect me on Instagram, follow me there. I'll give you a follow back. And I look forward to seeing you folks in the next one. Take care for now.